to Let's Play Morrowind. What are you looking at, Vernier? Like a guard, maybe? I don't know. Well, when we last left off, we had killed a wereguar, and our new boss wanted us to look through some houses to find a misprinted coupon. Unfortunately, we do not currently have the means to accomplish that. So, we are going to go ahead and move on. I think we might actually see if the room that we rented in the inn is still ours, in which case I'm going to grab a few hours of sleep so it's bright out. But we're going to then head off to Balmora, which is where Caius Cusades is, the man that we were sent to Morrowind to talk to in the first place. Look at that, I can walk faster now. Nope, not ours anymore. So we'll travel at night. Very good. You actually cross into some new terrain on the way to Balmora. There's a bit of ash territory, which we'll talk about when we get there. Who are you? Why are you out here? Dreamer. Excuse me. We have you in our discerning eye, Vernier Dorlin. We see you, waking and sleeping. Discerning eye? My starkest madness seeming is divinest sense. Come, grasp the chain, and prove you're sane. Who are you? I dream dreams, soul of the sixth house, flesh of Lord Dagoth. Bye. I don't have time to deal with absolute lunatics. There's knowledge to be gained. Now, what's interesting about Balmora is it's the second biggest city on Vardenfall, this island province that we're on. Which means that it has quite a few resources for us. We can join guilds, one of the great houses, which are the political seats of Morrowind. There's a corner club, which leads to the Thieves Guild. I believe there's a Morag Tong Guild Hall, which is like the assassins group in Morrowind. What is this? I'm curious about this now. Switch to walking to get some fatigue back. That's one of the frustrating bits about Morrowind, is when you run out of fatigue. Ulu Musa. Well, we'll give it a peek. Can't hurt. Well, it can hurt. So we'll drop a quick save first, and then we'll give it a peek. But, you run too much, and then you come across an enemy, and you can't hit him because, you know, you were just running for 10 minutes, and you're desperately gasping for air. Oh, hello. Where's my... Oh. Who are you? Ow. Hit hard. Oh, you hit really hard. Oh. Well. Perhaps, and this is, you know, this is just me thinking to myself here, you know, just putting it out there, perhaps we should come back here later, when we're stronger. This is a Quama Forager. It's basically a really angry worm. I'll take Quama Petal. Hello. Who are you? What are you doing out here on this road?
What can I help you with?
Begging your pardon, have you seen a bandit nearby? I must find him. Bandit? Yes, I was just walking along here, minding my own business. Suddenly, a bandit jumped at me from behind. He was a dark elf. A strong, dashing dark elf. He didn't harm me in any way, although he did take my jewels. He was quite gentle, and he talked to me for what seemed like forever. He took your jewels? What's that? Oh, never mind the jewels. I just want to find the bandit again. He was charming and funny, and I simply must see him again. His name? Nelos. Nelos Anmar. A name that will stay on my lips for eternity. Perhaps you can find him for me. Please, I cannot live without knowing if he could ever love me. I have nothing to offer you in return, but could you not help me for the sake of love? I have no times for your foolish games, girl. Have you no heart? No soul? Can you not see that this must be true love? No matter. Though it may take years, I'm certain we will be reunited one day. Yeah. Not gonna run around crisscrossing the surface of Morrowind to find your lover boy. Who robbed you, I might add. Nonsense. Total and utter nonsense. What are you? Another cave that we're just not going to deal with right now. We'll be back here later to loot and pillage. Take cork bulb? No cork bulb? Never mind. I thought I had something installed that let me just do like what you do in Oblivion and Skyrim and just hit the use key on a plant and it takes anything if it's there. But evidently not. I might have to tweak my mod order and make that happen. Which, by the way, if anyone has mods that they want to recommend for this playthrough, you can put them in the comments. I don't know if I'll be adding in anything big or not in the future. I'm very hesitant to, just because I had a lot of problems combining the ones that I have here. I really wanted Rise of House Telvanni in my mod list, and apparently with Morrowind Rebirth, that makes all the Telvanni guardsmen naked. So I had to spend a few hours learning how to create plugins for Morrowind in the construction set just to fix that problem. Balmora, there we are. So, up this way. Alright, so you notice all of a sudden it becomes very different terrain here. That's because... Is this route going to be hostile? Yep. That's right, run. Go on. Oh, got myself stuck here. There we go. That is because this is a channel for lava flow. So, right up there, well, not quite up there, but like way looping around that hill way up there, where this big dark spot on the map is Red Mountain, which is one of the biggest mountains in all of Tamriel. Not quite the biggest, but one of them. And it's still a very, very active volcano. So you'll have big flows of lava come down here and char everything. Very nice terrain detail that Bethesda put in there. Oh. Got our first sign of real weather. This is Fort Moonmoth, which is an Imperial Legion fort, much like the one at Pelagiad. A bit bigger. Imperial Legion. Is there any work that I can do here? I'm a bit hard up on money. I mean, 800 isn't too shabby, but it's not good. I don't know you. What do you want? Who are you? Master at Arms and Knight Protector of the Imperial Legion. So you're not who I want to talk to. Actually, what training do you offer? You a member? No? Well, screw you too, buddy. For you. Man, all these people. I don't know you. What do you want? Amari Charian, Healer and Trooper of the Imperial Legion. Oh, Moonsugar, of course. Right. We'll come back here when we aren't loaded with drugs. And we're not basically being drunk. It's quite loud. I hope I can be heard over that. Guess I'll find out. If I can, I'll try to fix it. And we gotta offload our large supply of moon sugar and skooma. A ne'er-do-well merchant from Balmora. Now, maybe Vernier is just, you know, a little bit racist, but he strongly suspects that Khajiit like moon sugar. So, perhaps, just putting the idea out there, perhaps that's the way to go. We'll just find a Khajiit and try to get them to buy our moon sugar and skooma. So there's the Silk Strider that I could have taken from Sadanin to get here. Would have been much faster, but not nearly as entertaining or interesting. I mean, you would have never met Raoul the Wereguar if we had taken the Silk Strider. Ah, the doors are locked. What time is it? It's 4 a.m. I guess we'll hole up under here. We'll wait a few hours for the gates to open. Don't really have a choice. There we are. Alright. This is Balmora. Great big old city. Trade house. Dunmer Delicacies. Need to find somebody to buy my goods. Greetings, citizen. I'm Glutist. Welcome to Balmora. We're a House Flalu town and loyal citizens of the Empire. What can I do for you? Well, for travel? What? Weird. So, Celis Gravius and Sadanin told us to ask at the South Wall Corner Club about Caius. Where's the South Wall? It's a working-class corner club in Balmora, east of Odai River, on the south end of Labor Street. Owned by Bacola Kloskius. Alright. So, that would tell me that it's over this way. Here. Pawnbroker. Upfitter. There's a very particular merchant I'm thinking of. Revere. Yes. Good. Hello. Revere knows why you are here. You want to buy Revere's famous Daedric weapons. Daedric? What? You say these are not Daedric weapons? No, you are right, but Revere is no liar. When you wish it, Revere's demon weapons will be as sharp as fine Daedric, and as light as a Netchair sack. The magic lasts a short time, but long enough to punch through the toughest armor. Revere buys them direct from the Telvanni. You'll not find any cheaper in all Balmora. Tell me about yourself, Revere. Revere follows the trade of trader. Oh, well, that's a bit of generic dialogue that sounds terrible. Well, let's barter. Let's see, happily trade with me. Revere has these demon weapons, which are pretty interesting. I'm not going to be buying them because they don't suit my skills. But the idea is, it's like an iron or a steel blade of some kind. But it has an enchantment on it, that transforms it into a Daedric weapon temporarily, like a bound dagger or whatnot. Very handy to have. Alright. Offload that. Take the square hide. We don't need that anymore. I'm gonna keep followers of the Guar. I'm curious about that. Keep our coupon. You can have the directions to Caius, as long as we give him the package. Take Raoul's list. This receipt. Alright. Very good. Can I haggle you up to 190? Yes. Very good. Alright. I no longer carry drugs. I'm not gonna get accosted by the guards. Who are you? Leading citizen. Barter. Any staves? Apparently not. You do repair, though. I will take repair. Alright, well, let's go... Mage's Guild. Mage's Guild? Hello. Greetings, I'm Ranus Aetheres. Are you looking to join the Mage's Guild? Can you tell me about the Mage's Guild first? Can somebody do that? Oh dear God. Step right up, Vernair Dorlin, and look over my collection of scrolls. How about the flashy and cheap Taldum Scorcher to burn your foes, or Ondusi's Unhinging to open stuck chests and doors? If you're going somewhere dangerous, try some Scrolls of Vitality and Vigor to restore your and health and fatigue. Good job. If you're in real trouble, you'll want Almsivi Intervention or Divine Intervention to transport you instantly to the nearest temple or nearest Imperial Shrine. I am Galbadir, Enchanter and Apprentice of the Mages Guild. What's your trade? I'm an enchanter. I enchant things and sell them. I have scrolls, which are cheap, but only work once, and enchanted items, which work over and over again, but which are not cheap. I also make my Enchanter's Lab available to those who want to enchant items, but who can't afford the expense of building and maintaining a lab. I charge for the service, of course, but you must provide the items, soul gems, and magic effects. I also buy and sell enchanted weapons, enchanted armor, and enchanted clothing. Show me what you have. Blessed Shield, Tower Shield, Toes Charm. Wow, that is an expensive soul gem. Jeez. Alright, is there anything I want here? I mean, Divine Intervention and CV Intervention are really helpful, but I don't really want to buy scrolls. I want to buy the spells that let me just cast that on my own. That's okay, though. Well, let's talk with you. Yes. You look like the sort we could use in the Mage's Guild. Will you take the Mage's Oath and join the guild? What's the oath? Perform any duties assigned to you by the masters of the guild. Learn from them and grow strong. Always share your knowledge freely with other guild members. Never strike or steal from another guild member. Does this appeal to you? So, duties assigned by the masters, considering that I'm quite weak at the moment, perhaps I could live with that. Especially if I learn from them and grow strong. I'm a bit skeptical of sharing my knowledge freely with other guild members. But I feel like I could probably get away with not doing that. Never strike or steal from another guild member? Well, if it ever comes to that, no one's ever going to know. So sure, I'll join. Teach me your secrets. You are now a member of the Mages Guild. Welcome, associate. When you are ready, you can ask for duties to perform. And once you are ready, you can ask me about advancement in the guild. So tell me about the Mages Guild. The Mages Guild is dedicated to the preservation and distribution of magical knowledge. Pursue your studies diligently, Vernaer Dorlin, and the benefits of belonging to the Mages Guild will become clear to you. Advancement? You meet our requirements, but you have not yet completed the duties. Well, what are my duties? I don't have any duties for an associate. Speak with me again when you have proven yourself. In the meantime, speak with Ajira. I believe she may have some small tasks for you. Very well. Let's see what else is going on here.
Clearly he was wrong. Yet I do think he meant well.
Yes. Tale of the Devious Traitor. Ooh, my mercantile skull went up. The Necromancer, the Airship, and the Devious Traitor. A long time ago, or perhaps it was yesterday, maybe even tomorrow, a strange chain of events unfolded in the slave capital of Morrowind, Tyr. It was an ordinary day, nothing out of the usual. Traders were trading, guards guarding, and slaves slaving. A Silt Strider was moaning in the distance, and a slowed airship had just arrived to buy new slaves, most likely for their unholy rituals. As soon as the Slodes had left their airship, they were greeted by a Dunmerry trader, who introduced himself as Atheres Haratri. Nothing out of the usual there, as the Slodes always paid good money for their slaves. Oh, God, Slodes are disgusting. Atheres haggling with the Slodes. But this is where the story twists and bends in a whole new direction, every minute jumping further and further towards the conclusion of this story, if a story ever ends, that is. Athes and the three Slodes who had just arrived with the airship had been haggling for the price of quite a large amount of slaves for some time now, with the amount of gold jumping up and down for what seemed like several hours. After a while, Athes suggested that if the Slodes gave him their airship, he would give them all of his 30 slaves. One of the Slodes responded, "But how would we get back to Thras?" The young Dunmerry trader answered, "Have the slaves carried you? Have the slaves carry you?" Another of the Slodes, outraged by even the suggestion of such a ridiculous thing, said, "Thras is many miles away. The slaves will never make it, and even if they did, we wouldn't be home for years." Young Athes laughed in the sinister way common for Dunmer, that's a bit racist, isn't it? And said, "With all your mighty magic, would that be a problem? Make them run faster, and you will be home in no time." The first Slode considered this a good idea, and the Slodes left with their new slaves. They cast a powerful Fortify Speed and Strength spell on the poor slaves, and they were ordered to carry them toward Thras. One Slode, clad in a black cloak, said he would stay behind and travel to Thras later. The other two Slodes left for Thras, carried by 10 slaves each, for such is the weight of a Slode. In the meantime, Athes made his way to his new airship. He thought it might fetch quite a price among certain people, either broken into the parts or as a whole airship. But the young trader was tired after hours of haggling with the Slodes, and decided to return home to get some rest. After hiring a few loyal warriors to guard his airship, of course, he wouldn't want to lose that, which would make him a very rich man, after all. As the sacred hour of Azora passed, and the day became night, the black-cloaked Slode made his way to the home of the devious Dunmerry trader. The Slode was the only one who had realized that Athes had tricked them, and he would not let this deed go unavenged. Athes was asleep in his bed, a bottle of high-quality grief by his hand. The black-cloaked Slode walked up to Athes and whispered, "Your love for alcoholic beverages will soon give back what's mine, young Dunmer. And when that happens, you will realize that you have nothing left but your own greed." Oh, spooky. Athes was asleep in his bed, with a bottle of high-quality greed by his hand. After whispering these words, the black-cloaked Slode disappeared in a puff of smoke. The next day, when the sacred hour of Azora had once again passed, and night passed into day, Athes woke up with a strange urge for grief. He searched through his entire house, finding no grief or any other alcoholic beverage. He stumbled out into the streets, which, strangely enough, were empty. Not a single living being was walking the streets. He walked around the streets of Tyr for some time, pondering on where all the people had gone, and more importantly, where he could get some grief. But there was no grief to be found. After a while, he came upon his airship, unguarded. He made his way into the airship, only to see the black-cloaked Slode, who had arrived yesterday, sitting cross-legged on the floor of the airship. Athes asked the Slode, "Where are all the people? What have you done to this place?" The Slode answered, "That is not important, is it? For either one of us." "That is true. For some reason, all I can think of now is grief. I can't think of anything else, no matter how hard I try," Athes responded. "That's what I thought. I happen to have with me 30 bottles of grief. What are you willing to pay for them?" The black-cloaked Slode answered, with an evil grin. Athes and the black-cloaked Slode haggled over the price for the 30 bottles of grief for what seemed like hours upon hours. After a while, the Slode suggested that if Athes gave him his soul, he would give him all 30 of his bottles of grief. Athes responded, "But how could I live without a soul?" The black-cloaked Slode answered, "Buy a new one." Athes, outraged by even the suggestion of such a ridiculous thing, said, "But it is impossible to buy a new soul. There is no way anyone would ever give their soul to me." The Slode laughed, in the strange way common for Slode, and said, "With all your skills in bargaining and trading, would that be a problem?" Athes agreed, and gave his soul to the Slode in return for the 30 bottles of grief. Now, the black-cloaked Slode laughed. He disappeared in a puff of smoke, leaving Athes there with his 30 bottles of grief. Athes woke up. It seemed like it had all been a dream, but why was he lying on a small island in the middle of nowhere? The Slode necromancer appeared in front of Athes. Why did he seem so tall? Suddenly, a mirror appeared next to the Slode. He put it in front of Athes. To his horror, it was not his own face that was staring back at him in the mirror, but that of a mud crab. The Slode laughed. "You gave me your soul, and now the shell of a mud crab is what houses it. Your own greed, your craving for wealth, will now, as always, be your cause in life. Adventurers will flock to this small island upon hearing the rumor of a wealthy, talking mud crab trader." Once again, the Slode disappeared in a puff of smoke, and left poor Athes on the small island, with no other company than a large amount of gold. Greed was his life, and greed was his doom. Athes is rumored to still be alive, buying alcoholic beverages from travelers passing by his little island in southern Vardenfell. Editor's note: this tale is believed to have originated somewhere in southern Morrowind, and traveled with traders westwards, even as far as Hammerfell. It is obviously nothing more than a fairy tale to scare young children from the same path of greed that Athes took. There have been rumors, though, of a mud crab trader somewhere in Vardenfell. So there is a mud crab trader in Vardenfell. He has more gold than any other trader in the base game, and he will buy anything from you at value. So when I go and I trade to somebody, if I wanted to sell them my steel staff, and it's a value of 30, they won't give me 30 gold for it. They'll give me like 12 or 13 or something, so they can turn a profit. The mud crab trader, he'll buy it for 30 with no questions asked. It's an interesting story. Who are you? I cannot think with all these interruptions. Please leave me alone. But I want to barter. Ooh, cure common disease. I'll take those. I'll take your cure common disease, cure poison, and cure paralysis. And Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Do you have any duties for me? Speak with Ajira. Alright.
The indignity of it all.
Welcome to Balmora, council seat of House Lalu. How can I serve you? I am Esther Dallin, mage and apprentice of the Mages Guild. Okay. You offer spells, huh? Touch, feather, burden, fellow flea bite, poison, paralysis, shock. It's not terrible. I already have elemental. Well, actually, I have weak elemental burst. I'll buy the upgraded version of that. What are my odds to cast it, though? Not terrible. I see by your outfit, Vernier Dorlin, that your affairs have prospered. Can I help you? I am Marion Dren, mage and apprentice of the Mages Guild. Oh, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Charming touch, yes, I'll take that. Oh, shield, buoyancy. Take water walking. Take levitate. Take Unduci's open door. And I'm poor now. Did I spent every gold coin I had. Wow. Alright, well, that just means we need to get our shit together. Hello, Ajira. What brings you to Ajira's shop? Do you want duties from Ajira? Do you want local brews? Or help in a fight, some Telvanni bug musk? Or a way to reach the high places? Duties, please. Yes, Ajira has duties for you. Before Ajira can be a journeyman in the Mages Guild, Ajira must study local mushrooms. To finish Ajira's report, Ajira needs samples of Luminous Rusala, Violet Copernicus, Bungler's Bane, and Hyphia Fascia. Ajira knows where you can find all these, on the Bitter Coast. The easiest way to go is go south along the River Odai until you see a wooden bridge across the river. Get out of the river there, and find a path west over the hills. Short, smelly toadstool, which is brown on top. So I know where all of these are. These are all back near Sedanine. I can find all of these in Sedanine. I'm not exactly keen on walking back to Sedanine, though, and I have no gold. So let's go figure out where Caius Casades is, and see if we can get some work done here, and make a little bit of money. That way I can take the Silt Strider back. But I am pretty happy with these spells. I need to set up hotkeys at some point. Excuse me, sir. So this is House Lalu guards. They wear bone mold armor. It's pretty intimidating looking. Far more local than the Imperial stuff is in appearance. Alright, so the Corner Club is across the river over here. I'm assuming this is it. Yep. Hello, Satilde. Welcome to Balmora, Council, blah blah blah. I am Satilde. I do a little of this, a little of that. Do you know where Caius Casades is? That old sugar tooth? I'm not sure where he's living now, but ask Bacola Kloskius, the owner. He'll know. He's the owner. He must be around here somewhere.
What makes this smell?
Alright, I can do that. Sugar Lips Habasi. Only he stands there. Tapius, I'm assuming you're... No? No, you're not who I want. Where is this man? Upstairs, perhaps. There you are. Good day. I'm Bacola Kloskius, publican of the South Wall here in Balmora. We rent beds, and I have a limited selection of goods for barter. If you're new here, I can also tell you where to look for other services. or a specific place nearby. If you're looking for someone in particular, I may be able to help. I am Caius Casades. Old Caius rents a little bed and breakfast just up the hill on the north edge of town. Go out the front door, not the upper door to the terrace, then right up the stairs, then left at the top of the stairs, and down to the end of the street. Okay. Maybe you can tell me more about yourself. No, do a little of this and a little of that. Yeah. Do you have anything else interesting to tell me? Tell me about Balmora. Balmora is the council seat of Great House Hlalu, and the largest town on Vardenfell except for Vivec City. Located on the Odai River and settling astride the Alderun-Vivec Road, Balmora is an important mercantile trade and travel center. Hightown is the administrative center, with a temple and manor houses. The shops, guilds, and trade houses of the commercial district are west of the river. Labor Town's modest corner clubs and homes are east of the river. Okay. Good information. Thank you, sir. So, up the stairs. Left at the top of the stairs. And straight ahead. Here we are. Hello, sir. What? Yes, I'm Caius Casades. But what do you mean you were told to report to Caius Casades? What are you talking about? Well, hang on now, friend. Tell me about yourself. I'm just an old man with a skooma problem. Well, I was told to come to you. So, you say your name is Vernier Dorlin, and you've been told to report to me and deliver a package. Perhaps you'll let me look at it. Sure? Yes. Very interesting. So, it says here the Emperor wants me to make you a novice in the Blades, and that means you'll be following my orders. Are you ready to follow my orders, Vernier Dorlin? What? I mean, sure, I guess. Good. Welcome to the service, Novice Vernier Dorlin. Now you belong to the Blades. We're the Emperor's eyes and ears in the provinces. You can use my bed if you need to rest, but leave my personal stuff alone unless I say otherwise. If you like, you can improve your modest skills with our Blades trainers now. Or, if you're in a hurry, I can give you orders right away. But don't forget to visit the Blades trainers. Blades trainers? These Blade agents offer training. Not free, of course, but cheap for a fellow agent. Look for Rithleen, Termalion, and Ninetoes here in Balmora. In Caldera, see Saran Leorian. In Alderun, see Gildan. Fjorvar Horsemouth lives in a hut west of Alderun, and Alone the Scout can be found at Ariel's trade house in Sedanin. Oh, I've talked to Alone. You know where it is. You arrived in Sedanin by boat. I'm not going to read all of these, but I am going to get the journal entry for each of them. He's just telling me where they all are. Alright. Tell me about the Blades. We're spies. We're the Emperor's hidden eyes and ears in the provinces. We watch the Emperor's enemies. We look for opportunities, we make reports, and when the Emperor commands, we obey. But we're only one of many guilds and factions in Morrowind. You should know a little about Morrowind politics before you get involved with any of these other guild groups. Groups favoring Imperial interests are the Blades, the Imperial Cult, the Imperial Legion, the Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild, and the Thieves Guild. Really? The Thieves Guild favors Imperial interests? Be careful who you tell that to, Caius. Groups favoring native Dunmer interests are House Redorian, House Hlalu, and House Telvanni, the Temple, the Morag Tong, the Kimona Tong, and the Ashlanders. Alright, we're going to be doing a lot of reading here, because I want to get the Blades' take on all these groups. Tell me about the Imperial Cult. The Imperial Cult worships the 9 divines. The Aedra Akatosh, Debella, Arkay, Zenithar, Mara, Stendar, Kinnereth, and Julianos, and Tiber Septim, founder and patron of the Empire. In Morrowind, it's partly maintaining the faith for outlanders like us, and partly a missionary cult, bringing enlightenment to the heathen Dunmer. You can see Somatus Vinius at Fort Moonmoth to join, but you have to go to Ebonheart if you want to become a lay servant. What's a lay servant? Lay servants serve the Imperial cult by doing various tasks. Not a lot of excitement, but safe, honorable, and rewarding. First, you have to join the Imperial cult, then go to the Imperial chapels in Ebonheart to get work. See Sinolian Tunifis to become a lay healer. See Iolus Trooptor to become an almoner, a fundraiser. See Kay to become a shrine sergeant. They do the more dangerous jobs. Interesting. Tell me about the Legion. The Imperial Legion has several fort garrisons here on Vardenfell. The lower ranks handle law enforcement, escorts, rescues, dangerous predators, diseased and blighted beasts, and so forth. Only one fort is accepting recruits, Fort Darius in Nessus. Nessus is a frontier outpost, isolated, a little rough, but good experience. If you're interested, see General Darius in Nessus. Tell me about the Fighters Guild. The Fighters Guild is a professional organization chartered by the Emperor to regulate the hiring and training of mercenaries. Training, goods, and services are cheaper for members, and the guild stewards know where to find work. You'll have to start your service with Idis Fireeye, the Balmora guild steward. She's new, and I don't know her well. Perseus Mercius. Perseus Mercius? Really? The Aldrune guild steward, I know and trust, but he only handles high-ranking assignments. Well, what about the Mages Guild? I already joined them. It's a guild for the arcane arts, and it's where you go to find wizards for hire. Training, goods, and services are cheaper for members, and the guild stewards know where to find work. If you want to be a wizard, join and work your way up the ranks. The Mages Guild here is a better bet than the Fighters Guild. Rannis Atheris is the guild steward, so talk to her if you want to join up. She's got a chip on her shoulder, but her apprentice Ajira seems okay for a Khajiit. And the Thieves Guild. In the rest of the Empire, the Thieves Guild is a more or less organized group of local criminal syndicates governing illegal trade in their communities. Here in Morrowind, the Thieves Guild is the newcomer. The established local crime lords are called the Kimona Tong. The Thieves Guild doesn't advertise, partly because to avoid the law, and partly to avoid the Kimona Tong, who have sworn to destroy the upstart Thieves Guild. Sugarlips Habasi, over at the South Wall, is a local guild boss. What are the Kimona Tong? The Kimona Tong is Morrowind's native criminal syndicate. They're tough and ruthless, and have connections in the higher ranks of House Hlalu. The Kimona Tong compete directly with the Thieves Guild for control of illegal trade, and the Kimona Tong will not tolerate competition. Compared with the Kimona Tong, the Thieves Guild is relatively decent and honorable, certainly less brutal. They don't accept Outlanders as members. Forget about it. Yeah, I believe I had somebody in Saint Anine tell me about the Kimona Tong. And, how her husband was murdered by them. Well, tell me about the Morag Tong. The Morag Tong is a guild of executioners and assassins, completely legal and guided by a strict code of conduct. It's an ancient Dunmer society, steeped in tradition. But I know and respect a few Westerners who belong to the Morag Tong. They're nothing like the Dark Brotherhood. I have no idea how to join them. Okay. What about the temple? The Tribunal Temple is the native religion. They worship 3 god kings, Amalexia, Sathasil, and Vivek, who are known together as the Tribunal. We usually just call it the Temple. They're narrow-minded and superstitious, but I find a lot to admire, particularly their concern for the poor. They accept Outlanders as members, but few Outlanders join except for the services. Talk to Feldraelo Sadri at the Balmora Temple if you're thinking about joining. Okay. Alright, then we have... let's do the Ashlanders. I don't know much about the Ashlanders. Most people say they are murderous savages, but most people are idiots. I know they hate their settled Dunmer cousins almost as much as they hate Westerners. They must be tough to live in the Ashlands. I don't think Outlanders can become members of the tribes. I don't know why anyone would want to. Alright, now let's start learning about Morrowind politics here. Let's start with House Hlaalu, since we're in a House Hlaalu town. House Hlaalu is one of the three Dunmer great houses on Vvardenfell. They're loyal supporters of the Empire, open-minded in religious and cultural matters, and greedy and ambitious in the best Imperial tradition. It's difficult to rise in their ranks as an Outlander, but the great houses hold the power in Morrowind. Talk to Hlaalu counselors if you want to become a Hlaalu retainer. What about House Redoran? House Redoran is one of the three Dunmer great houses on Vvardenfell, a very serious and honorable bunch. It's difficult for an Outlander to join and rise in their ranks, but the great houses are blah blah blah. Talked about. Okay, so you don't really have much to say about them. How about Telvanni? One of the three Dunmer great houses. Their nobles are 1,000-year-old wizards. Telvanni are supposed to hate politics, foreigners, and just about everything else. But the Vvardenfell Telvanni are apparently more ambitious and adventurous than most. I don't know much about them, but they do hire Western mercenaries, and some even rise to higher ranks. 1,000-year-old wizards, huh? That sounds appealing to Vernier. Perhaps he could learn something there. Well, we've had a bit of a history lesson. What are our orders? First thing, Pilgrim, you're new, and you look it. Here's 200 drakes. Well, thank you. Go get yourself a decent weapon, or armor, or a spell. And second thing, you need a cover identity. Around here, freelance adventurer is a common profession. Sign on with the Mages Guild, or Fighters Guild, or Imperial Cult, or Imperial Legion. Advance in the ranks, gain skill and experience, or go out on your own. Look for freelance work, or trouble. Then, when you're ready, come back and I'll have orders for you. Freelance work, huh? You could always just wander around and ask for work. Hunt monsters and sell their hides, collect ingredients for alchemists, prey on bandits and smugglers, search ruins for loot. All you need are better skills and conditioning, and knowledge of Morrowind. And spend what you earn on equipment and training. Then come back a little less wet behind the ears, and I won't have to worry so much about you when I send you on a mission. Duly noted, sir. Duly noted. Thank you for the money. Maybe you should keep some of it and buy yourself, a shirt. But I will be on my way. I'm actually going to take this gold, and I'm going to catch a Silk Strider to Sadanin, and we're going to collect some mushrooms. Because I'm comfortable with what I have now. In terms of, spells and equipment. So, we'll leave it at that. So the Mages Guild seems like a good entry-level way to get some experience with magic and get a little more powerful in the arcane arts. Hello. Oop. I missed whatever that was. Oh well. Take me to Sadanin. And from what I've heard, it sounds like I could use that experience to springboard into House Telvanni. Maybe get a little more experience and knowledge from them. Sounds right up Vernier's alley. Alright, so we're looking for mushrooms. Violet Coperness, that's one of the ones we need. Climb a forager over there. Might have to end up killing him. We'll see. This looks promising here. Luminous Rusula. That's another one that we need. Right? Yeah. Hey, it's a scrib. Creepy. Oh yeah, your body's still over here. Oh fuck, it's the mud crabs that fucked me up last time. I'm gonna go around. This is an opportunity to practice my water walking, my new water walking spell. Yes. Go back to this. Who are you? You're just a random dead guy. Pretty epic music. Ooh, gold. I'll take that. Hyphaephasia, that's another one that we need. What else do we need? Bandit. Bungler's Bane. Bungler's Bane is very similar to these. Like, they grow on logs and trees. I think there's some that way, so I'm gonna head over there. Hello! I need to get up my my blunt weapon a bit, so I should probably do a little more smacking and a little less casting, just to make sure that I'm well balanced in the event that I run out of magicka. What is this? Slow fern? I'll pass. Bungler's Bane. Alright. We have everything we need from here. It's time to continue on our way. Thinking I'll catch a Silt Strider back, and I will hand this in to Ajira, figure out what she wants us to do moving forward, and then I will call this part, because we are almost an hour in, recording wise. That's about where I want to be with these. You're going to see part-time fluctuate wildly, but I'll probably try to keep it between half an hour and an hour. There may be times where I lose track and it goes over, but I'll probably never have it go under unless I'm... you may be able to tell I'm recovering from a bit of a cold right now. I'm a bit stuffy. If I'm ever really, really sick for any reason, I'll definitely still want to record and do parts, but I might do less than 30 minutes in those instances, just so that, you know, I'm not coughing and sneezing into the mic for an hour. Has Vernier Dorlin found the mushrooms Ajira needs? I have. Yes, here they are. Yes, these are all good samples. Now Ajira can write the report and be a journeyman of the Mages Guild. Ajira has made potions for you to take in return. Ajira is no great alchemist yet, but Ajira thinks you can use these. Yeah, I'll take restore health potions. Anything else you need? Yes, Ajira has more duties for Vernier Dorlin. Ajira made a bet with Gulbadir. Ajira made a bet with Gulbadir that Ajira would be a journeyman before Gulbadir. Now Ajira must study these mushrooms and write a report. Ajira wants you to give Gulbadir a fake soul gem. That sounds a bit dirty. Ajira has made a fake soul gem. Take it and put it in Gulbadir's desk upstairs. Gulbadir should be coming downstairs to talk with Marion Dren, so no one will see you do this thing. I guess I can do this real quick. Oh, hello, Gulbadir. How are you doing? Have a great day. Yeah. Gulbadir's desk. Let's sneak. Take that. Put that in there. Oh, wow. Nothing happened. Nothing's missing. It's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry at all. Jeez. 60,000 I'm gonna have to stash that somewhere because I might end up using that instead of selling it, honestly. I did put the soul gem in. You have put the soul gem in the desk as Ajira asked. Ajira thanks you. Ajira must now study local flowers. Yes, Ajira must study flowers now. Ajira needs samples of gold cannet, stone flower petals, willow anther, and heather. These can all be found on the shores of Lake Amaya. To get to Lake Amaya, go southeast of Valmora, past Fort Moonmoth. Then follow the signs and take the road to Pelagiad. After you cross the Foyada Mamira, it's like the river, basically, go towards Saran at the next crossroads. All the flowers Ajira needs are near the path Saran, which runs along the north shore of Lake Amaya. Okay. I can do that. I'll do that for you. But first, I'm gonna go hawk some of these soul gems for some cash. I mean, first I'm gonna go for a walk. Have a good day. Time is up. Nowhere's gonna be open. So we'll go sleep. One of our Mage Guild available beds. Yeah. Until tomorrow. And with that, my friends, we're going to call this part. So thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next round.